president of the Ghana School of Law Students Representative Council, Wanda Victor Kuto, has rubbished reports he has been interdicted. Now, according to a notice signed by the Secretary of the Ghana School of Law, SRC, Safo Kwamina Oheniba, the president of the SRC, has been interdicted over alleged financial impropriety after being accused of buying a car for the SRC from his company and also for his personal use under questionable circumstances. But in a sharp rebuttal, Mr. Wanda Victor Kuto says the move is unlawful and he's still opposed. That's his claim. But let's get more from my colleague Kweku Asante, who joins us now with details of the response we're getting from the SRC president. He's also been monitoring developments on campus. Kweku, what's the background really to the story, first of all?
So, Blessed, on the 6th of April,
right,
the Executive Council of the Student Representative Council of the Law School convened a meeting. At the time, the SRC President, Wanda Victor Kuto, was not in the country. He had traveled to the United States, Texas, on an official work. And so at the time, he was not available when this meeting was convened.
Right.
But the substance of the meeting is that he had misapplied some funds of the SRC, and particularly the allegation actually went to say that he had sold a certain car to the SRC. He did not declare his interest, and also that the systems and other things, the company that was used in getting the car sold to the SRC belonged to the SRC president, and he did not declare that. And so when the SRC Executive Council said they got wind of that, they instituted a probe into the matter. Let me read a statement that was signed by Safo Kwame Oheniba, who is the SRC secretary. It says that the Executive Council of the SRC probed the president about his ownership of a car sold to the SRC bearing the chassis number. The chassis number is mentioned. The answers provided by the president were deemed unsatisfactory. At the time, the SRC Executive Council recommended that the SRC president steps down for more investigation to be done into the matter. The SRC president did not. He actually released a statement saying that he was out there working for the interests of the student of the law school, and he did not think the specific allegations that had been made against him merited him standing aside. So that matter seemed to have gone to bed until yesterday, when the SRC Executive Council said they constituted an emergency meeting. And at that meeting, they agreed that the SRC president, by virtue of some of the things he had done, which they said misapplied some funds, the constitution, he had breached some of the part of it, he should be interdicted. And they had gone on to appoint the SRC vice president of Green Hill campus, the way they have segmented their campuses, to act as president until the matters have been properly.
So help us understand this. What actions have been taken concretely right now by Victor himself in response to the decision that's been taken by the SRC? So
Victor says, as far as he is concerned, these specific actions that have been taken are null and void. And in law, what he's trying to say is that it's as though those actions did not even take place. Because according to him, he is the president of the SRC, he's also the executive, he's the president of the Executive Council. All such meetings of the Executive Council must be done with this undertaking, as in he has to instruct the SRC secretary to call the meeting for that purpose. And so he did not do anything. He did not have any knowledge that such a meeting has taken place. He's also stating that this matter is currently before management of the school, who are looking into the matter, and also the student court at the Ghana School of Law. And so as far as he's concerned, he's still the SRC president and he's still at post.
Okay, we'll just hold on for us briefly. Let's get the reaction from the man himself at the center of all of this. Victor Kuto is the embattled SRC president for the law school. Victor, welcome to the program. So what's your challenge really when a decision has been taken by a body duly constituted by your own SRC to take up a disciplinary action against you?
Yeah, thank you very much. I must say that respectfully, because management of the school are investigating the matter, and because the matter is before the SRC court, I would want to speak to the substance of the matter. But let me just talk about some issues briefly.
Okay.
That one, let's even put law aside and apply common sense. An allegation has been made against me as SRC president. There's been no advance findings. Those allegations have not been proven. Then my own executives meet and said that, look, you have interdicted, you are no longer the SRC president. I mean, let's use common sense. Let's even put you aside. The matter is before the SRC court. Even today, the court starts on a similar issue today. Like I said, I don't want to talk about the court issue, but the matter is before court. It was an open court. People joined by Zoom. They listened to the court. Management of the school has also released a notice that they're investigating the matter. As we speak, there's been no adverse findings. Then you say that because there's an allegation against the SRC president. Once I was in the US, initially they issued a notice that I should step aside. Yesterday, I understand they issued another notice that I've been interdicted. The SRC goes beyond issuing notices. I was elected by the entire student body. I was properly sworn in. The procedure for removing the SRC president is in the constitution. It's only the courts. And even that, it has to be on stated grounds. It's quite unfortunate we've gotten to this level. And as I speak now, I have forgiven the secretary. I have forgiven. I hold nothing against him.
Right.
All these issue notices, it's not proper. Let me tell you something.
But in the interest of transparency, and just hold on, you make that point. But in the interest of transparency, is it not proper for you to step aside while investigations are carried out to prove whether or not you're indeed involved in these acts that they're raising against you?
So let's even look at public policy.
Yeah.
In what way will I interfere in the investigation process? So, for example, management is investigating the matter. How will I interfere in the process?
You're at a position of influence, I guess. That's the concern, particularly when you're also standing on that point to say, well, I call the shots. I'm in charge of the meetings. I call the meetings even in the first place. So just looking at the position, the power you wield, is it not better if in the interest of accountability and transparency?
For example, I do not call meetings for Congress. We have a Speaker of Congress.
Right.
I do not call meetings at the court. I will just give an example that even procedurally, the notice, the meeting from the executive, the purported meeting is wrong because I chair executive council meeting. So if they said an executive council meeting are properly called, so we issue notices to all executives that we are meeting on so day, this is the time, this is the date. And in the case of an emergency council meeting, I as president must always be in the know. And if I'm unable to chair, I will delegate somebody to chair. And under the constitution, the secretary take instructions from me. I did not make the constitution. I did not promulgate the SRC constitution. The secretary takes instructions from me. So he cannot on his own, so moto, start issuing notices. So now he has issued a notice that has been interdicted. What next? The SRC goes beyond issuing notices. And what he's doing, it brings the office of the president into disrepute. And it's quite unfortunate. Everything they rush into the media. Everything they rush into the media.
So, Victor, what do you intend to do about this?
I don't need to do anything. I'm at post. I don't need to do anything. I mean, we don't fight for what you're entitled. I'm at post. Tomorrow I'll be in the office. I'm at post. I was elected by the entire student body. They are setting a very bad precedent. What is happening in the next 2 years, if there's an allegation against, let's say, the secretary or let's say the treasurer, then there and then the person has to be removed from office. Okay,
but let's try and look at this. I don't know if you're willing to comment on it, but did you indeed purchase a vehicle from the same company you own? There's the concern about conflict of interest. Has that come to your notice, and what's your response on that allegation?
I have said severally. Like I indicated earlier, because the matter is an investigation, I don't want to talk about it, but I'll talk about it briefly, that all the procurement processes were followed. As SRC President, I'm not a member of the procurement committee. Like I said, I've been advised not to talk about the matter, once the matter is in court, once the matter is with management. But to look at it objectively, I'm not a member of the procurement committee. And when the procurement committee does its work, it goes to management before management release the funds. Before the management release the funds to the SRC, it's not as though to them pay school fees to the SRC. No. Management have to release the SRC based on what the report they might have gotten from the procurement committee. So as SRC President, I'm not even part of the procurement committee. Be that as it may, an allegation has been made. Allegations are allegations. There's been no adverse findings. Then you come out and say that, step aside. Then within 3 days, you've been interdicted. I mean, there was a notice that he said, I even voted. At the executive council meeting, I voted for a committee to be instituted. If you care to know, those members that they've nominated to form on the committee, you wrote a letter that they are not interested. They are not interested because they could see the haste, the rush, the hatred by some members of the executive council. If a group of executives meet and have a discussion and meeting, that cannot be deemed as an executive council meeting. Executives, we do meet as people join, we eat, we chat, but that meeting is not an executive council meeting. That is what I want people to always separate. Executives can meet and have discussion. They can be eating fufu and have discussion, but that is not executive council meeting. Executive council meetings are properly called by giving notices to all members of the executive of the date, the time, the agenda or the agenda for the day. And this is an emergency meeting. And look, please note, an important matter such as indictment or interdiction of SRC President cannot be done as an emergency meeting. By conference call. Look how they said they had a conference call yesterday. It was an emergency meeting to discuss removal of SRC President, where the Constitution has given the grounds on which the President can be removed. The matter is before the court. Management of the school has issued a notice that they are investigating the matter. What else do they want?
Okay, so we should expect you in the office tomorrow.
Yeah, please, my word. I'm at post.
Okay, then. Victor, thank you for joining us here on The Pulse. So Victor Kuto is the embattled SRC President for the Ghana Law School. This is The Pulse. We'll return shortly after this break.